Informal communities are the weakest sector of the population which suffers from multiple conflicts that threaten their health and environment every day. So it is important to tend this sector of the populations since they are the elemental part of the city body. By understanding the nature and composition of these communities, we can make significant changes to improve their situation in the future, allowing them to integrate with other entities and organizations in the city. By improving these communities, we can improve the quality of our cities. Barombong is located in the southwestern part of Indonesia near the city of Makassar. This place is famous for being a fisherman village with approximately 110 homes. Barombong has been an inhabited city for approximately 50 years, where their main economic activity used to be the cultivation of cassava and gardening, but due to climatic changes they were forced to change, so they are now engaged in fishing. Because of this geographical position, Barombong is a strategic town in the fishing industry because it is the last town along the Jenebereng River that flows into the ocean. Through the scope of ecology and economy, I can understand how their economy works, helping me see how their fishing industry works around town. In here, the main source of income are the fish market, the boat shop, the boat workshop, the fishing bait store, a cyber coffee hall, some other informal businesses. Through the scope of ecology, I was able to identify flooded areas that appear on the wet season several times in the year. Because of this, their main road gets flooded and becomes unable to cross. Therefore, they are temporarily made up access to communicate with them. At the same time, I have noticed that the garbage is affecting the town since it's been settling along the Barumbong coastline. Due to this, the water on the river now has a high level of toxicity, taking it not suitable for drinking. In addition to this, I could see how the residents want to improve since there are people are already who are trying to recycle and collect the garbage in an informal way. By analyzing the site, I chose this area to be my main focus since this area has the least amount of interventions from the RISE project. By looking through my sections, I was able to observe certain economic and environmental behaviors in section A. I can see the relationship between the accumulation of waste in the coastline to a point where it allows the users to park their boats, and on the other side is basically relationship between the informal settlements around the area. Section B explains how the traditional housing architecture is used at the moment, as well as how the structure is held up, allowing us to see the way they use the space for living, a store, and as a business, as well as how the architecture works and respond to the climate. Section C explains how new developments are developing through town as well as the little economic growth it has been happening lately due to specific cases. In the first case, the foundation is covered with vegetation, which we can see on the left side of the screen, and the second case is on the right side of the screen, which shows the foundation filled with rubbish. These two examples helps us to realize the development is progressing slowly because of the cover of vegetation and the people already occupying the space for the other foundation. Through the diagrams, I was able to have a better understanding of the way in which ecology and construction behave in the area of interest, which allows me to see the structure as well as the characteristics elements that cover a traditional architecture, which is very attractive to me, since I believe this is a very good responding to the weather needs. By analyzing the case studies, I was able to understand the importance that recycling can affect in the local economy, as well as the environmental and social impact, as in the case of Cyberjaya, which helps to reduce 1.5 tons of garbage per day, allowing residents to come with a specialized center that helps to improve their quality of life. The second case tells us about the expandable housing, which is a project of great interest to me since its flexibility for growth of the property, as well as the production of their own food business creation and ability to create their own building materials on site. Hmm. This 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 brought me to this proposition of uncovering latent spacious opportunity through adaptive repurposing and self-sustaining shoreline ecologies. By taking advantages of the resources that we generate considerably useless, we can generate high-impact projects that provide great benefits not only to the environmental but also economically in society. Therefore, I consider it's essential to take advantage of the garbage that is on the site and evolve the way that we implement our resources. The Brown bulk coastal project areas that use this land reclamation process are highlighted in the yellow in the map in the yellow color, and there are four techniques that they use for brown land reclamation process mainly: air burden, cofferdam, solar cofferdam, and pneumatic casing. Each of these has a different economic impact, and the cost is from left to right, the cheapest to more expensive. And since the easiest one to make is the air burn, um, I chose to follow this traditional reclamation process selected that you can see through the images. They usually just fill with rocks at the river, then they fill with clay and soil. They add the mat foundation, then they build the grill and they fill the voids with soil. And lastly, they build the foundation slab, and then is the normal rice walls roof. And we have a house. In the non-traditional reclamation process alternative, which is what I'm proposing, we shall use the the heavy rocks, then fill with clay. Sorry, the heavy rocks, and then start filling these voids with garbage. And after that, we can use the foundation slab, raise the walls, and essential living space needed. There are three main systems that I'm working with. The tile foundation system, which allows us to build the foundation instead of using concrete or blocks of stones. These use the car tires as a boundary area, and we can fill it with trash or pebbles or rocks in this case, and use them as a settlement. After that, the second technique is a lighting slab of plastic bottles. It works as a lighting slab. The only difference is that we are recycling the bottles and we are using it into the construction. So it allows us to have the same resistance and the same way of using the material. And lastly, the carton wall system. Instead of using normal brick walls, we can use the carton wall, which is covered with cement on the outside, which allows us to have this wall that is able to protect us from the acoustic and also help us with the isolation because of the shape of the material. And the construction will be cheaper and faster this way, and it's gonna be less expensive. Um, the, the idea of this is to use, for example, in this image we can see half and half of the house is split using traditional technique against this new non-traditional technique, and at the same time, how is this working with the landscape of the RISE project, and how you can implement a support to this idea that they already have, and how you could evolve the area. And lastly, it's gonna be this neighborhood scale with which you can see half of the map with the trash and how it is right now, and after like on the other half of the image is gonna show like how it should be going this in the future. Thanks.